Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 4 of Mega Man 03. In this episode, we'll be going in the WR factory and going after Devil Bat Shilt. Now, in the last episode, I forgot to mention, but Childre and Arabida had a time limit on his stage. This stage does not. All you have to practically do is destroy all of the cameras. But Childre, you had to actually beat the sub before you made it to the boss door, because if you didn't, I do believe that the sub would have actually raised the water level too high, and the battle with him would have been a lot more difficult. You can't alter the difficulty here with Devil Bat, and for the record, he was also called Hellbat in Japan and in Europe. In America, for some reason, the word hell is bad, but devil's okay. This is also the same place that censor any references to the devil. America's censors suck. Anyway, the whole point of this is just to destroy all of the cameras in the factory. And that's all you need to do. Oh, and for the record, I forgot to mention that this game is practically a nostalgia trip. And why do I say that it's a nostalgia trip? Real simple. There's some aspects, by the way, there's a camera right there, of this game that pretty much is a shout out to previous games up to Mega Man X5. Like, for instance, this area is a throwback to Junkman stage. Those cameras being shut down, I do believe that's a reference to 01 when we last entered into the factory. The difference is we didn't have to worry about the door shutting on us, causing us to lose a life automatically. Yeah, that was still bullshit, by the way. The hammers that you see is a throwback from Mega Man 8, and that was Grenade Man stage, if I'm not mistaken, and I can't believe I ran face first into that. These mice that's jumping out, that's a throwback to Mega Man 7. That electric snake that you guys saw swinging around, that's a throwback to 01. I can keep going on with all the references. As a matter of fact, the entirety of Childre in Arabida stage is a throwback to, Duff McWhalen and also Bubble Crab. And now what we're about to go through, which is the mid-boss, is a throwback, or at least a really big throwback to Mega Man's X4 and Extreme 4. Oh no, Extreme 2, sorry, where this thing was actually a mid-boss. No, actually it was a regular enemy. That's what I meant to say. And if I'm not mistaken, they did make their appearance in 02. So yeah, there's that. And get used to seeing this thing because it makes a reappearance in ZX! The only reason why nostalgia is used at this point, because if I'm not mistaken, Inafune intends on making something with a lot of nostalgia to be the final game of the series. And that is the whole gist of this. That's why there's so much nostalgia in 03. Oh, there's gonna be a lot more nostalgia. I'm just gonna point it out. Oh, and Devil Bat Shilts himself. That's a nostalgia trip. Remember Dark Necroback, who I mentioned? He's a crossover between that and Shade Man, as well as Izzy Glow. Or should I say Shining Firefly as a Mega Man X collection. But nonetheless, every time Inafune goes on a nostalgia trip, that happens to be the one game that he is done making. Once that series is it, that's it, it's over, it's done. However, we got a 4th game. So yeah, that's basically the gist of that. And I've got a lot of damage on me. So much damage it's not even funny. So let's load this up. And the reason why I'm loading up is because it's a really nifty trick to try to get yourself enough health to survive the oncoming enemies that's going to be tougher than what they normally are, because after all, we are in a zero game. But not to mention, you can actually use that to reduce the amount of damage overall that you're taking up to a point, so that you'll be able to get an A or B rank or an S rank easily. But that's okay, we're at the boss now, and it's time for Devil Bat Shilts. I mean, I didn't do too much, like, voice acting for the last boss, and I know you didn't want to hear me do that, so I tried to keep it to a minimum. And by the way, you're about to see a fusion elf being used. And I'm practically doing this primarily to show off the level A attacks. I'm going to end up keeping it at B just so that my rank don't go down any lower after this. And I'll try not to let my rank go any lower. Well, if it isn't the legendary hero. The Mechaniloids do all the repairs on their own, I do say. So I was just trying to enjoy a little tea break. How dare you disturb my peace and quiet? Where are your manners, Sir Hero? I, Devil Bat Shilts of Wild's Number, shall educate you. Key, I say. The first lesson of a gentleman must learn in refinement is, intruders are to be expired without a fuss. Yeah, I'm not too good with Shilts here. I'm just gonna say, I'm not too good with this game at all. But Shilts, he tends to bounce around the room a la Phantom. And this is why I also mentioned he does this, and he's a reference to, Shining Firefly, because Shining Firefly did the exact same thing. Also, he's a reference to Shade Man as well, save for the fact that he doesn't turn you to stone. Yes, as you can see, the ice attacks are his weakness, so using the ice chip is absolutely fantastic. Enjoy those chips, folks, because this is the last game that'll ever have chips. And we slashed him. No manners. No manners at all. Trying to defy Lord Wild, what dismal behavior. And he's dead. But as I was saying before, yeah, there is no chips in 04. So, yeah, enjoy those chips while you can, folks. And Jesus Christ, 120 damage? I took more damage from this stage than what I did the last stage. You know what? I'm not even worried about it. I'm not even worried about it. At least we got the EX skill, and that's all that matters. Although I'm not going to be using too many elves much more longer. And with that said, the recycling plant is done. And with that, we can also show off the brand new EX skill that we just managed to snag. Oh, and by the way, I bet you're wondering, what are these crystals are for this time around? And I forgot to put on the burst shot again, didn't I? I bet you're wondering, what is the crystals are for? They're for to actually power up your elves if you happen to get them. Just like before, but you gotta go do it through servo. So that's the only difference. And now, if I could get it, there we go. That is the new skill. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we only got one more person on the hit list so far. And that is Death Dance Mantis, aka Kung Fu Mantis. And we're going to be taking him on in part 5. This is Surferman 95. Peace out.